Welcome to ComfortTV.channel news, bringing you verified and balanced news from Nigeria and around the world. My name is Faith Kevin. Thank you for joining us. In the headlines, bandit kill 3, abduct dozens in Kwara church attack. President Tinubu orders swift action as troops intensify search for abducted Kebbi schoolgirls. Ebonyi State links communal crisis to mismanagement of mineral resources. PSN warns of national health crisis as Johesu APA strike paralyzes federal health institutions. NUEE threatens nationwide power shutdown following attack on TCN staff in Imo. On business, government moves to improve World Bank's project transparency. Telecom operators OPEX rises 85% to 5.85 trillion naira. On foreign, President Trump sends Pentagon delegation to Ukraine to help restart peace talks. NATO on high alert as Russia launches massive drone and missile strikes on Ukraine. On sports, Victor Osimhen suffers muscle injury after Nigeria's World Cup playoff loss. Ayimba suspend coach Stanley Aguma after poor run of results. Now the news. 3 people were killed and at least 10 others abducted during a brazen attack by armed bandits inside Christ Apostolic Church in Eroko, Ekiti local government area of Kwara State. The attack took place during a service at Christ Apostolic Church, Oke-Shegun, Okeado Street, claiming the lives of Mr. Tunde Asabe, Mr. Shegun Alaja, and Mr. Aderemi, while another girl was critically injured with a gunshot wound to the neck. Local spokesperson Mr. Olasunkanmi Ayeni said bandits have been attempting to breach the community for weeks via Eroko Egbe and Eroko Omwaron roads, but had been repelled until the incident. He criticized the state and local government for failing to respond to repeated SOS calls and noted that the Ekiti local government chairman had yet to visit the community. Mr. Ayeni praised local police and vigilantes for chasing the bandits from the forests, preventing even greater casualties. The Kwara State Police Command confirmed the incident, stating that officers and vigilantes responded promptly to gunfire. One victim, Mr. Aderemi, was found dead inside the church. Another, Mr. Tunde Asabi Ajayi, was discovered in the bush, and Mr. Shegun Alaja, a vigilante, was injured and hospitalized. Authorities assured that operations to apprehend the attackers would continue until the bandits are neutralized. Former Kwara State Governor Senator Bukola Saraki addressed the incident, describing it as a terrorist attack that disrupted the usually calm atmosphere of Eroko. Senator Saraki expressed sympathy for the victims and their families and prayed for healing and strength during this difficult time. He called on the federal government and security agencies to act swiftly to secure the release of those kidnapped and to implement stronger security measures in Eroko and across Kwara State. President Bola Tinubu has directed Vice President Kashim Shettima to visit Kebbi State to console the state government and reassure parents and guardians of the 25 schoolgirls abducted from Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, MAGA. The president also extended condolences to the military over the death of soldiers, including Brigadier General Musa Uba, who was killed while on active duty combating insurgents in Borno State. In response, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, visited the community and ordered troops of Operation Fashion Yama to conduct intensified day and night operations until all abducted students are safely rescued. General Shaibu emphasized the need for intelligence-led missions and warned that bandits have developed patterns of targeting some locations. He also held separate meetings with local vigilantes and hunters, underscoring their critical role in providing local intelligence and assisting military operations in the forest. He assured community leaders, including the traditional ruler of Danko and school officials, of the military's full commitment to rescuing the girls. He stressed that the safety of the children is a national priority and that all available resources will be deployed to secure their return. The Ebonyi State government has identified poor management and unequal distribution of mineral resources as the root cause of 90% of communal crisis in the state. The Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Dr. Ben Uruchi Odo, made this point during a debate organized with the Ministry of Justice and the Ministry of Solid Minerals Resources and Development, emphasizing the need for youth to manage mineral resources responsibly to promote peace and economic growth. The state is endowed with minerals including brine, salt, granite, lead ore, galena, sand, limestone, barytes, bamboo, and gypsum. Proper management that involves host communities and create jobs is expected to foster unity, drive economic development, and prevent conflict. The president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria (PSN), pharmacist Ayuba Ibrahim Tanko, has raised concerns over the nationwide paralysis of federal health institutions due to the ongoing Joint Health Sector Union (JHESU) and the Assembly of Healthcare Professionals Association (APA) strike, describing it as a national health emergency that requires urgent resolution. Pharmacist Tanko made a statement during a courtesy visit to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, leading a delegation of PSN leaders and past presidents. He highlighted that all 73 federal health institutions and several non-hospital facilities have been completely non-operational since the strike began on November 15, affecting 85% of Nigeria's health workforce. The National Union of Electricity Employees (NUEE) has threatened to suspend electricity operations across Nigeria after staff of the Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) were allegedly attacked at the Egbu transmission substation in Owerri, Imo State. The union reported that workers on duties were assaulted, held at gunpoint, and abducted by armed police officers, allegedly acting on orders from the Imo State government. During the incident, police officers reportedly forced entry into the control room, vandalized equipment, disconnected power under duress, and destroyed staff property including laptops, phones, vehicles, and CCTV cameras. In response, NUEE directed its members to halt operations in Imo State until further notice and warned of a potential nationwide shutdown if authorities fail to guarantee the safety of electricity workers. ComfortTV.channel news returns shortly with business, foreign, and sports news. Many thanks for staying tuned. In the world of business, the World Bank has begun rolling out its new funds chain system, a blockchain-based platform designed to promote transparency, accountability, and efficiency in the management of development project funds. The global institution is starting the implementation of 6 projects, marking a major shift towards digital tracking of donor-funded interventions. In response to this transition, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, OAGF, said it has instituted a series of management reforms aimed at improving the financial governance of World Bank-funded projects across Nigeria. The AGF, Dr. Shamsuddin Babatunde Ogunjimi, made this known in Abuja during a financial workshop for accountants generals, heads of project financial management units, and coordinators of World Bank-funded projects. The event took place at the Treasury House in Garki, Abuja, according to a statement signed by Director of Press in the OAGF, Mr. Bawa Mokwa. Dr. Ogunjimi said the workshop was convened to discuss ways of strengthening accountability in donor-funded projects. According to him, the OAGF and the World Bank has reached an agreement preventing the removal of project financial management staff within 6 months of a project's closure date. The measure, he said, is meant to prevent lapsed loans and undocumented advances, which often occur when there is abrupt turnover of financial personnel. Still on business, Nigeria's mobile network operators (MNOs) total operating expenditure (OPEX) rose from 3.16 trillion naira in 2023 to 5.85 trillion naira, marking a significant increase of 85%. This was contained in data compiled by Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC). According to the 2024 Subscriber Network Performance Report compiled by the Policy, Competition and Economic Analysis Department of the NCC, most licenses of the regulator complained of high right-of-way fees, harsh microeconomic operating employment, and rising inflation. However, the NCC has been able to secure zero road fees in some states in the year 2024, according to reports. For capital expenditure, domestic investment, the report showed about 2.9 trillion naira in 2024 as against 1.12 trillion naira invested the previous year. On the revenue side, the MNOs posted about 7.67 trillion naira during the period under review, against 5.3 trillion naira the previous year. This showed an increase of 44.70%. On capital inflow of foreign direct investment into the Nigerian telecoms industry, the report noted that it was approximately $457 million in 2024, as against $134.75 million recorded in 2023, according to the Central Bank of Nigeria. Onto the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has sent a high-level Pentagon delegation to Ukraine to revive peace negotiations aimed at ending Russia's war in the country. The team, led by Army Secretary Dan Driscoll and accompanied by two four-star generals, is meeting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, senior officials, military leaders, and defense industry representatives, as Driscoll is also expected to engage with Russian officials at a later date as part of efforts to assess the situation on the ground and provide a comprehensive briefing to the White House. The mission reflects a renewed U.S. strategy to leverage military-linked envoys in hopes of achieving progress where previous diplomatic initiatives have stalled. The visit underscores Washington's focus on stopping the ongoing conflict and exploring avenues for a negotiated resolution, while signaling direct engagement with both Kyiv and Moscow through senior defense personnel. NATO forces in Poland and Romania were placed on maximum alert after Russia carried out a large-scale overnight attack on Ukraine, targeting multiple regions including Ternopil, Lviv, Kharkiv, and Kyiv. In response, fighter jets were scrambled and ground-based air defense systems were fully activated. Ukraine reported that Russia launched 476 drones and 48 missiles, marking the largest assault in November and the most significant since October 30. Ukrainian air defenses intercepted 442 drones and 41 missiles, though several drones and missiles struck targets, causing casualties and damage. In Ternopil, two 9-story residential buildings were hit, killing at least 10 people and injuring 37. Emergency services mobilized around 500 rescuers and more than 100 units of equipment to manage the devastation. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky highlighted the widespread nature of the attacks, with regions across the country reporting strikes, falling debris, and local damage recorded in 14 locations. In Romania, two German Eurofighters and two Romanian F-16s monitored the airspace following reports of Russian drones, one of which penetrated 5 miles into Romanian territory before disappearing from radar. No impacts were reported within Romania, and specialist teams were deployed to investigate. Polish authorities also placed their air defenses at maximum readiness, with fighter jets and Patriot missile systems deployed in cooperation with Dutch, Norwegian, and Spanish allies. The strikes underscore escalating tensions along Ukrainian western borders and highlight the continuing threat of Russian drone and missile operations. NATO and Ukrainian forces remain on heightened alert as the conflict intensifies. Onto the world of sports, Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen has sustained a muscle injury during Nigeria's 2026 World Cup playoff against DR Congo. The forward, who started the match, was substituted early in the second half after appearing to pull his hamstring. Nigeria drew 1-1 in regular time but lost 4-3 on penalties, missing out on consecutive World Cup appearances for the first time since 1994. Osimhen returned to Istanbul and underwent an MRI at Akibadem Hospital, which revealed a moderate strain with bleeding in his left posterior muscle. Galatasaray has begun treatment, though no recovery timeline has been provided. The 26-year-old has been in strong form this season, scoring 9 goals in 12 appearances across all competitions, making his absence a significant setback for the club. Moving on, Enyimba of Aba have suspended chief coach Stanley Egoma and his 2 assistants, Ndubuisi Nduka and Joseph Boma, following a string of unsatisfactory results in the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL). The decision came after the team's home loss to Wiki Tourist at the Enyimba International Stadium, with the club citing the need to halt their slide on the league table. Former international striker Lawrence Danjuma Ukebu has been appointed as interim coach with immediate effect. He will oversee training sessions and preparations ahead of Eyimba's Matchday 14 clash against Casino United in Jos. The club said it will conduct a thorough review of the team's recent performances while exploring ways to improve results moving forward. And that's our news bulletin this evening. But before we go, here is a recap of our stories. Bandits kill 3, abduct dozen in Kwara church attack. President Tinubu orders swift action as troops intensify search for abducted Kebbi schoolgirls. Ebonyi State links communal crisis to mismanagement of mineral resources. PSN warns of national health crisis as Johesu AHPA strike paralyzes federal health institutions. NUEE threatens nationwide power shutdown following attack on TCN staff in Imo. On business, government moves to improve World Bank project transparency. Foreign President Trump sends Pentagon delegation to Ukraine to help restart peace talks. NATO on high alert as Russia launches massive drone missile strikes on Ukraine. And on sports, Victor Osimhen suffers muscle injury after Nigeria's World Cup playoff loss. Thanks for watching. For breaking news, exclusive interviews and more, follow us online at ComfortTV.channel on all platforms. Remember to like and share our videos, subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any updates. My name is Faith Kevin. Until next time, stay informed, stay connected.